guys, what's up? Taco here, and today I'm here with a deck that I should have done a while ago, but um, set 13 kind of came out too fast, and yeah, stuff happens. So this is my Battle Sister deck. It's the Parfait and Monaka version, and I'll just show you guys this now before I get into the rest of BT13 because there is quite a lot to go through, and I want to show off this deck before it gets forgotten because it is a fun deck, and it is pretty good. So now let's get right into the deck. So first up we have Battle Sister Eclair. She's the Great 3 searcher of the deck, and she is a Battle Sister, so that's pretty cool, and her art's pretty cool. So yeah, so Counterblast 1, put this into Soul, look at top 5 cards, and add a Grade 3. You guys know what it does, so not much else to talk about. For Grade 3s, I run 4 Battle Sister Parfait. For me, she's the main Vanguard. People like to run her, like to think of her as the backup Vanguard for Monaka, but I personally think this card is much better than Monaka, and I'll tell you guys why in a sec. But let's get to know her effect. Her effect is, Limit Break 4. On your turn, when you have 4 more cards in your hand, this card gets plus 3,000 power. And the following effect: when this card attacks, and hits a Vanguard, you can draw a card. So it's pretty good. Like, it costs no counterblast, so basically all you're on hit. Whenever you hit, you can draw a card. So next, it's counterblast 2. Counterblast 2 Battle Sisters, and that's a special counterblast. When you have 3 or less cards in your hand, you can draw a card. So she's pretty good to ride in early game because you usually won't have much hand early game, and you'll just do that, slap down all your attackers and boosters, counterblast 4 and draw 2. Usually that's what happens. So yeah, you can do that, and this deck can unflip damage, so I'll tell you guys about that later. Next I run 4 Battle Sister Monaka, so she's the backup, though sometimes, whenever you're done, when your opponent's at 5 damage or something, you can just ride on top, because you probably won't get your attacks through anymore. And if you have a crappy booster behind her, Parfait, you can just ride on with Monaka because Monaka and Parfait will swing around the same if you have a 6K booster behind it and you are not fighting a cross ride. So yeah. Next, Monaka's effect is Counterblast 1. Not a special counterblast, so yeah. You can counterblast 1 and Persona Blast, so you get discarded Battle Sister Monaka. And then you can look at the top 5 cards of your deck, and then you can add 2 cards to your hand, and afterwards you put the rest of the cards to the bottom of your deck. So basically, she is a +1, and you do not have to show your opponent which cards you put in your hand because you look at the top 5, and then you pretty much whatever you pick from the 5 is none of your opponent's business anyway. So yeah. Alright, so next for Grade 2s, I run 3 Battle Sister Cocoette. Her effect is Counterblast 1 Battle Sister unit. When this card attack hits the opponent's Vanguard, you can pay the cost, and then look at the top card. Look at the top card in your deck. If it's a Battle Sister, you may add it to your hand. You have to reveal it first, so your opponent will know what you put because they have to confirm that it's a battle sister. So she's a pretty good pressure card. You mainly want to ride this because otherwise you probably won't get much attack. Your attacks through with this because this deck does run a lot of 6k boosters because of the Battle Sister name. So yeah, mainly you want to ride this. Afterwards, she won't really hit much. She won't really hit very well unless you have a what's her face omelet behind her. So yeah. Alright, next I run to Battle Sister Tart. Pretty self-explanatory. Secondary ride target, and she's 10, so she goes well with 6 when you're not like up against cross rides. Next, I run 2 Battle Sister Mocha. Her effect is when you have 4 more cards in your hand, this card gets plus 3,000 power. When this card attacks the Vanguard. When this card attacks, sorry. So basically, she's an 11k, which you can hit 11k Vanguards by herself. So pretty good. But I only run 2 because she's an 8k body. So yeah. Next, I run 4 Macron. Pretty self-explanatory. She's a 12k attacker. The main attacker. So yeah. And for great ones, run 4 Battle Sister Omelet. She's a 10k attacker variant, but her effect requires you to have no soul. So yeah. She is a 7k, so she is pretty much the only 7k booster in this deck, which is one of the main downfalls of this deck. I tried running Geminis and stuff, but they just don't really go well with the deck because a lot of the deck is counterblast, special counterblast, and the trigger lineup is already not all Battle Sisters, so yeah. So next I run 4 Cocoa. When you call this card, when you call or write this card, you can look at the top card of your deck, and then you can either put it on top or bottom. So it's pretty good. Next, 2 Battle Sister Lemonade. Her effect is when this card is called in the rearguard circle, you can Soul Blast 2 to unflip 2 damage. So she's really good because she helps you use your counterblast. Downside is she is a 5k, but she is really good. So yeah. Lets you reuse the counterblast, so you can abuse her effect, or simply have some counterblast so you can use her effect after you finish abusing Parfait's effect. And finally, I run 4 Perfect Guards because Perfect Guards. Right, so that is my Battle Sister deck. I'll show you my triggers very soon, but give me a sec. So for 8 crit, 4 draw and 4 heal. Actually, the draw triggers in this deck is actually I call them out to boost a lot because most of your attackers will be above 11k. Well, 6 of your 11 attackers are above 11k, so you're gonna hit nice numbers easily, and it's nice to call them out because that will let you decrease your hand size, but do not call out your 10k triggers because that is not a good idea. But yeah. So basically, this deck is really good at putting pressure because at times you might do something like that. And then you're either going to use Omelette to boost, or you're going to have something crappy like Lemonade. So basically, depending on what you ride, or what you call first, is very important, because once you have this setup, you are hitting for very nice numbers. You're going to hit for 21, and your opponent is probably going to not guard, so you're going to get some free +1s off this row. However, if it is this row, your opponent is probably not going to. Your opponent is probably going to guard. So really, you gotta read the situation. We'll see whether you're gonna abuse her effect or not. A lot of times, 80% of the time. No, that was bad. 80% of the time, 80% of the time, I do sorry. 80% of the time, I do get my free +1 off this column, and like most of the time, they will guard against this because they don't want you to get that free +1. So if you ride this first, it's good to abuse her effect first, and then ride into Monaka afterwards, because you can't hit nice numbers anyway. So you're just gonna ride this and hit for 16, unless they have a cross ride. Then this is an okay number. So just some basic things to keep in mind. Alright, so this is my Battle Sister deck, and I'll show you guys something else next time. I am playtesting with my Nubatama, so I'll probably show that next. But anyway, this is Karataku, and I will see you guys later. Bye!